I am sure this is all a massive overreaction, and WWE 2K18 is a solid wrestling game. Right? Oh my god, it's so bad! What is going on? So WWE 2K18 is a wrestling game, I think. Because the problem is, you can't really wrestle in this game. Let's just start out with some of the basic things, shall we? Loading times. These loading times are astronomical, and everything runs at a very slow pace. What do I mean runs at a slow pace? Well, let's take a look at one of the entrances. This is in real time, folks. This is not slowed down for dramatic effect. This is not, oh, you know, RGT's just playing around with us. No, these entrances are like 5 frames per second.
This game sucks titties. I want everyone to be in the complete understanding that you do not go out and buy this game for the Nintendo Switch.
This is insanity!
This game is not worth the $60 price tag on the eShop.
Like, these are graphics brought back from the dead from PS2, PS3 era.
This is insanity! Start playing the game and you realize, this is very slow. And this is when you're playing on one-on-one mode. One-on-one mode is almost passable. It is almost playable. The crowd will just disappear. There'll be no crowd noise. The announcers will be like, oh, the crowd's going wild. And it's like, it's like, what is that noise? What is going on? Is there a demon inside of my Nintendo Switch? I understand I have Doom on the Switch, but I don't think the demon has actually taken over. It's just demonically possessed.
It was supposed to be released with all the other iterations, PlayStation 4, Xbox, PC, and so on. And then nothing. There was silence. Silence in Nintendo Switch land when this game never hit shelves.
How you don't notice that the announcers and the crowd noise just disappear randomly. It'll be Michael Cole will be like, hey, what do you think of this match? And then there'll be silence because nobody's there to answer them.
And then suddenly on December 4th, we heard, oh, it's coming out in 2 days' time. It'll be on shelves and in the eShop in 2 days from now. That just raised so many red flags.
I didn't think anything could get worse than Troll and I, which was one of the most bug-ridden, frame rate issued video games I've seen ever. But now WWE 2K18 has taken the championship belt and made one of the most pathetic ports of a title I've ever seen in my life. Just watching the entrances alone.
The game is just so broken.
After playing this game, I'm gonna tell you guys up front, this is not a good game. It is broken on the Switch, worse than it was broken on the other systems. It doesn't run smooth on the other systems, but it runs worse and it looks like really bad on the Switch.
Bought a game that I know is going to suck. I essentially just wasted $45 just so you guys don't go out and buy this if it sucks. I'm trying to save you guys money now.
The characters look horrendous, not to mention its moves in slow motion. Even the Nintendo 64 version of WWE No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000 and even the WCW games didn't have issues this bad.
This is insanity!
I have played it. Holy crap, I have played it. I've actually played count them, 2 matches, and I do not dare go back. I got the gist. I have the idea. It is by far the worst port of a game I have ever seen on a system ever.
They dropped resolution on this whole game. It's like, I don't even know what resolution it is because you can even see it in the text there. A lot of games now what they're doing is they're opting to keep the text native and then change the assets as they need to. I think Xenoblade is one that does that. Not in this one.
This is, by all definition, unplayable.
The more wrestlers that you have out in the ring, the worse the game is going to perform.
I've never seen frame rates this bad. And you know, you say to yourself, this is, you know, a WWE game. This is a wrestling game. It's based on fluidity. It's based on animations and stuff. But when you can't even control your character, you can't even dictate basic things in the match, it becomes virtually unplayable.
I had no idea. No one had any idea as to how bad it was going to be.
I tried to play a game online and it was literally 5 seconds of input lag.
You could see right away the frame rate are obviously dropped here, but you can see like the stare effects kind of on the ropes from here. Basically everything has aliasing around it. Like they didn't try to smooth any of that out, which is weird because I remember seeing the NBA 2K18 version of the Switch and it looks so similar to the PS4 and the Xbox One versions.
That is literally 2 frames per second. You can count the frames with the naked eye.
This is like 56K modem dial-up internet connection. My grandma could walk faster than this, and she's been dead for over 30 years.
It's almost like it's in slow motion, like the game is. And it's kind of distracting.
What happened here? How did you butcher this so bad?
I wish I could say what like frame rate it's running at, but it's not running at 30. It seems to be running in like the 20s, maybe lower than that. Maybe it's an 18.
I love Elimination Chamber matches, and I figured this would be a great chance to test out the game because you start with 2 wrestlers, then a third one gets introduced, then a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth. So it would be a great way that in one match I can see gradually how much the game slows down every time it adds in a wrestler. And oh, it gets so bad.
It became unplayable as soon as 4 people were in the ring. At that point, it wasn't a joke anymore, it was unplayable. Now, at 6, this isn't a video game at this point. This is like watching a seizure. This is watching a train wreck. This is one of the worst things I have ever experienced. I can't believe this was released.
This is insanity!
It had such a weird production schedule too. It was delayed, and then there was no release date. It came out of nowhere, and it had different prices based on where you're buying it. One place could be 40 at Walmart, another Walmart will have it for 60. It's a mess.
I'm saying it's average. It's somewhat playable. That's like the crown pinnacle, the crown jewel of this game. It's somewhat playable. You sit there when you start a match and you hope, you pray that this match will be somewhat playable. But if you play anything above one-on-one, you can kiss that goodbye because it's not going to happen. Because once you get 6 people in the ring, I did a 6-man Hell in a Cell, and it was so unplayable. I couldn't control anything. There was so much slowdown, so much lag. What other problems are there? Do a Royal Rumble match. Every time that somebody comes out, there's like a 3-second pause in the middle of the action so that it can load up their entrance music.
Once 6 were in the ring, it became unbearably painful.
This may be one of the worst games of all time.
It's I'm not really sure what frame rate it's running at right now. I feel like just playing it, it's in the teens. Right. It feels very sluggish when I move. If I kick, it takes a while. Like everything is moving almost in slow motion if you look at it right now.
How do you release a game to the public and say, hey, here's your wrestling game. Sorry that it's been delayed. Oh, by the way, it's completely broken. We'll take your $60.
And the fact that a AAA title is coming out for a full price. Some people are paying $60 for this, and they're playing a game that just plays as horrendous as this is absolutely unacceptable for the system.
Take it off the eShop until it's ready. I can get wanting to get the sales out of the physicals that you've released so you don't lose a ton of money on that. And I know you're still losing money not having it up on the eShop, but there's no pressure there. There's no physical item you have to get rid of. You're just putting a broken game onto a system. $60 and then a $90 bundle, a broken mess of garbage.
This was one of the most anticipated games for me. It's absolutely broken. It's unplayable. The graphics, no surprise. I knew that going in that this was going to be graphically inferior, but I did not believe that this game would perform as bad as it did.
I spent $60 on this game. I had to buy it digitally because I wanted to review it for you sadistic people. I wanted to show you guys what this game was about because you know what? I'm a wrestling fan. I like wrestling games. I played tons of wrestling games. I probably played just about every North American wrestling game ever released. The DS versions run better than this.
It is not worth the money at all.
And 2K, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed that this game released for the Switch.